Welcome back, Go Gunners family! Everton 0-1 Arsenal, Premier League player ratings and match highlights. Arsenal defeated Everton 1-0 in the Premier League on Saturday evening. In the 27th minute, Arsenal were awarded a penalty after Jake O'Brien clearly handled the ball inside his own box. Viktor Gyokeres stepped up to take the spot kick and made no mistake in converting it, smashing it into the back of the net and leaving Jordan Pickford with no chance of saving it. The first half came to a close with the hosts leading 1-0. Everton ended the half with just 35% possession and 0 attempts on goal, so they clearly needed to change things if they wanted to get anything out of the match in the second half. Midway through the second half, Arsenal put together some of their best moves of the match and managed to hit the woodwork twice in 5 minutes. Leandro Trossard almost converted a smooth, curling finish, but his strike hit the post, and in the 69th minute, Martin Zubamendi hit the post with a powerful low effort. Arsenal saw the match out to defeat Everton 1-0 and pick up a big 3 points to regain their lead at the top of the Premier League. GK, Jordan Pickford, 6 out of 10. Hardly had a significant thing to do during the match, either with the ball at his feet or in terms of shot stopping. Pickford couldn't have really done anything more to stop Gyokeres' penalty either. RB, Jake O'Brien, 5 out of 10. Committed a really silly handball, which awarded Arsenal a penalty in the 25th minute. The Irishman was fine defensively, but didn't offer anything going forward. CB, James Tarkowski, 7.5 out of 10. Made plenty of important defensive actions, such as blocks and clearances. Tarkowski dealt with the threat of Gyokeres well and practically completely nullified him. CB, Michael Keane, 7.5 out of 10. Like his center-back partner Tarkowski, Keane also put in a pretty good defensive display. He put in plenty of blocks and clearances, and also physically dominated Gyokeres at times. LB, Vitaly Mykolenko, 7 out of 10. Played with plenty of energy and put in a decent defensive performance. The Ukrainian helped Keane out against Gyokeres several times, which really limited what Arsenal had going forward. CM, James Garner, 7 out of 10. Battled well in the midfield and had some tidy moments with the ball at his feet. Garner was a composed figure in the midfield, which was key when Everton were under pressure. CM, Tim Arogbenam, 7 out of 10. Like his midfield partner Garner, Arogbenam also put in a solid shift in the middle of the park and had some real moments of quality with the ball at his feet. AM, Carlos Alcaraz, 7 out of 10. Got on the ball quite a bit and was one of the only Everton players who was constantly trying to get forward and make things happen. The Argentinian also provided an excellent work rate in pressing, which was also valuable to his side. RW, Dwight McNeil, 5.5 out of 10. Didn't see much of the ball, which made it hard for him to create anything significant. Despite his lack of time on the ball, McNeil put a few dangerous crosses into Arsenal's box, which caused a few problems. ST, Tierno Berry, 6 out of 10. Didn't get any service from his teammates in front of goal, but managed to make himself a nuisance and cause some problems against Hincapié and Saliba, especially with his physicality and work rate. LW, Jack Grealish, 5 out of 10. Didn't have nearly as much creative influence on the match as he typically does. Grealish really struggled to get the better of Timber and looked void of ideas at times in the final third. Sub, Beto, 5.5 out of 10. Tried to be physically imposing after coming on, but never really managed to have much of an impact. Sub, Tyler Dibbling, NA, didn't do much after coming on. Sub, Merlin Roll, NA, didn't do much after coming on. Arsenal player ratings. GK, David Raya, 7 out of 10. Didn't have a thing to do in terms of shot stopping, but always stayed alert and was very good at dealing with lofted balls into his penalty area. RB, Jurian Timber, 8 out of 10. Put in a brilliant defensive performance against a talented winger in Grealish. As well as being defensively brilliant, Timber also provided a threat in the final third, especially with his runs down the flank and crosses. CB, William Saliba, 7 out of 10. Struggled to deal with the physicality of Barry at times, but outside of that, the Frenchman was defensively solid and produced some important clearances when Everton managed to get on the front foot. Piero Hincapié, 6.5 out of 10. Although he didn't really put a foot wrong, Hincapié looked really nervous at times and had a few shaky moments with the ball at his feet. Like his center-back partner Saliba, Hincapié for the most part was defensively solid. LB, Ricardo Calafori, 7 out of 10. Managed to keep McNeil out of the match, and also had some good moments going forward, especially with his runs down the left flank to get his side further up the pitch. CM, Martin Zubamendi, 7 out of 10. Safe in possession of the ball, and battled well against Everton's midfield. Zubamendi was unlucky not to get on the score sheet, as he hit the woodwork in the 69th minute. Declan Rice, 8 out of 10, man of the match. Probably Arsenal's most threatening player. Rice saw more of the ball than any other player on the pitch, and he wasn't wasteful or timid with it. Every time he had the ball at his feet, he was looking to make things happen, and as always, his delivery into the box was really good. Martin Odegaard, 7.5 out of 10. Had some tidy moments in possession of the ball and created some very good chances for his teammates, although they couldn't convert them. RW, Bukayo Saka, 7.5 out of 10. A constant threat against Mykolenko. Saka relentlessly ran at the Ukrainian all throughout the match and tried his best to create in the final third. Stop, Viktor Gyokeres, 6.5 out of 10. Despite managing to end his goal drought with a thunderous penalty, Gyokeres didn't put in a great performance.
The Swede hardly got involved in general play, but even when he did, he looked slow and void of ideas. LW, Leandro Trossard, 6 out of 10. Saw quite a lot of the ball out on the left flank, but didn't really have any big moments outside of hitting the woodwork in the 64th minute. Sub, Gabriel Jesus, 6 out of 10. Did well at holding the ball up and bringing others into play, but didn't really have any service in and around Everton's box. Sub, Gabriel Martinelli, NA, didn't do much after coming on. Sub, Merlin Roll, NA, didn't do much after coming on. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's side have outgrown star who looked pedestrian versus Everton. Arsenal picked up 3 important points in a 1-0 win against Everton, as they ensured their status as Premier League leaders was intact for Christmas, but one player's performance left a little to be desired in the eyes of fans. The visitors were handed the opening goal on a silver platter, as Jake O'Brien jumped for a corner with both hands raised and knocked the ball away, giving the referee little choice but to point to the spot. Viktor Gyokeres made no mistake from 12 yards, burying his penalty past Jordan Pickford. It wasn't plain sailing for Arsenal, though, with Everton putting them under pressure at multiple points in the second half. The Toffees demanded a penalty when William Saliba kicked Tierno Berry, but it wasn't forthcoming. Leandro Trossard then should have wrapped up the contest when he struck the post after a slick move from the visitors. Martin Odegaard leaves room for improvement in Arsenal win versus Everton. This current season hasn't exactly been plain sailing for Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard this far. Spending a large portion of the turn-on with injury, he's only recently returned to full fitness, and it showed in recent weeks. Having flattered to deceive in the Gunners' win against Brentford in game week 14, the trip to Everton was a chance for the Norwegian to make a statement that he was back to his best, that he could play a starring role against a Premier League side that many find difficult to beat. But although he played 4 key passes in the game, there were moments where Odegaard's final ball was lacking. Sometimes forcing his teammates wide with a poor final ball, he's not looked like the same consistent creative force that many supporters have become accustomed to in his years at the Emirates. What will irritate them most of all, though, is that they have another creator on the bench who might be the perfect player to give them an edge in attack, Eberechi Eze. The summer signing didn't manage to come off the bench at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, with Mikel Merino coming on for Odegaard to add some defensive resilience. Arsenal supporters slam Odegaard's performance versus Everton. Odegaard's performance on Saturday night was the source of plenty of frustration on social media, with Arsenal supporters ranting about his efforts on the pitch. One fan wrote, "You can make a 2-hour comp of Odegaard forcing his runner wider than he would like." Another fan also chose to focus on the Norwegian international's passing, stating, "Saliba is a more direct playmaker than Odegaard." And that was echoed by another supporter, saying, "Odegaard's final ball is so bad, I will never be fooled by those aggregated chance creation statistics." One more stated, "From Ozil to Odegaard, he creates nothing in that role he plays," while the fellow Gunner added, "Odegaard needs to offer so much more than he's offering. Since he's come back into the team, we look pedestrian." A different supporter believes that there needs to be a change to the team, writing, "Arsenal have outgrown Odegaard." And a final fan wrote, "Odegaard's final pass has been dreadful. Poor weight, poor direction, lack of accuracy. He needs to do better if he wants to justify a place in the starting 11. Rice, Trossard, delete. The 11 worst referee decisions in the PL this year. The 2024-25 Premier League season has been dominated by Liverpool's brilliant start under Arne Slot, Manchester United's continued fall from grace, Nottingham Forest's unlikely Champions League bid, and contentious refereeing decisions. The latter is often the main talking point come Saturday evening, let alone Monday morning. William Saliba's contentious penalty against Brighton saw the referees under the spotlight again last weekend, while Tottenham's Lucas Bardfrau was the center of controversy in the EFL Cup when he perhaps ought to have walked before his late winner against Liverpool. Declan Rice, second yellow versus Brighton. Declan Rice was sent off during Arsenal's 1-1 draw with Brighton in August after being shown a second yellow card after poking the ball away from Joel Veltman as he prepared to take a free kick. While by the letter of the law, the decision was correct, it incensed many Arsenal fans and has continued to do so because other similar incidents have since gone unpunished. Even referee Chris Kavanagh, who showed Rice the red, said he didn't like the decision but had no choice. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.